Hi guys, welcome to Style with Substance and welcome to today's video, which is a get ready with me and Q&A. I thought I would film this to open up my Christmas vlogs, which you will start to see on my channel as we lead up to the festive period. But today I just really wanted to answer your questions and just get ready with you for church. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep watching. So I've got my makeup bag, I've got my makeup palette, got my brushes. I've put on Milk of Magnesia to start with, and so now I'm just going to do all my usual stuff. This is not a tutorial, so I'm just going to get into the questions. Okay, my sister's going to interrupt us at a point because she's coming over. We're going to church together. But yeah, basically I just wanted to answer some of your questions in a sit down Q&A, get ready with me style video, and excuse me, sorry, I'm just getting over a cough as well, so if I'm like spluttering throughout this, then you'll have to forgive me. Right, so here we go. Okay, so by the way, new hair from A-List Lace Hair on Instagram. I had it installed as a wig. I had it installed on yesterday actually. So the first question is, I'm going to turn the heat now because it's boiling. I'm going to start with my brows, and the first question, which is, how are you renting while saving for a mortgage? How much deposit would you need? I am saving, just like anybody else would save, because I think if you are renting and you're not in a position to be able to have money put aside for other stuff, then you're probably paying too much in rent. I think, anyway. Obviously I need to live like in a commutable distance to London, so prices are going to be at a certain level, but I would say that is why I chose to be self-employed, because income wise you take in more and therefore you're able to save, hopefully. If your living expenses aren't too high, you're able to save more than you would if you were full-time employed. I would estimate, and it probably is an estimate, that you can make twice as much money contracting as you can being full-time employed, just because the nature of it is so it's just so fluid. Like you might be working for 3 months and then not working for 4 or whatever, and so what you get paid, you should always be saving and putting money away. So that's how I'm saving while renting. I made a conscious decision that I would need to earn more if I wanted to rent, and not live at home with parents or wherever to save money. And yeah, that's how I'm saving. I'm trying to put away at least 20% of what I earn every month, maybe a little bit more some months, and that way I'll have a healthy deposit for when I do come to buy. How much deposit would I need? Well, I think it really depends on the kind of property I want to buy and the kind of mortgage I want to have. I want a really good rate in terms of my mortgage, and so therefore I would be aiming for a minimum of a 25% deposit. Well, sorry, not a minimum, but I'd be aiming for a 20 to 25% deposit of the percentage of the property price, so that I can have a 75 sort of 80% mortgage, because you get the best rates at that end of the scale. But who knows what the sort of property market will be doing by the time I get to buy, so we will see. But for me, yeah, 20-25% deposit is what I'm looking at. In terms of the kind of prices of houses I'm looking at right now, I'm not really looking, because I as a newly self-employed person, I need to have at least 3 years on my books before I can even, 2 to 3 years before I can even start to look at mortgages. But I would say, that what's within my reach is, and what's comfortable for me on a monthly basis would be a property that's £250,000. That's just a guess. I don't know where I'll be in 2 years' time financially, but right now that's kind of what I can see as being feasible in terms of the mortgage repayments. So yeah, I've just done my brows with the Revlon Colour Stay brow pencil in the shade, I don't know, it's just like a dark brown shade. And now I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer to carve out under my brows. Again, it's not a tutorial. If you want to see like an in-depth tutorial, there's a video on my channel which is like a life update, get ready with me, where I kind of give you a bit more of a close-up to what I'm doing here, but it's the same routine essentially. So somebody then asked, can you do a video on the process of getting a new ownership on your own? The minute I do, I'm assuming she means like getting buying a property, a new build property on my own. The minute I do that, then I will absolutely film a video on it. I actually started my channel with a video on how to buy a house, and you know, that video has done really well, and that video is kind of like what started this all. So absolutely, the minute I do it alone, because I do want to do it on my own this time, I will film a full video on it and the whole process that led to it. But it's going to be a 3-year process, unfortunately, so you guys are going to have to bear with me, but I promise you it will be worth, oh god, it will be worth the wait. I don't know what is wrong with my body right now, that I'm just, yeah. What areas will you consider buying in now to be close to family? In an ideal world, it would be Southeast London, but if Southeast London is too expensive, then I would look further afield in Kent as well. There was also a time where I really considered sort of buying a place up north, just so, you know, I could just get on the ladder and not need too big a mortgage, and, you know, could potentially look at just buying outright, because the north of England is so much cheaper than London. But, you know, having lived close to family, now I live close to family and friends, while renting, I do really enjoy the convenience of just being near them. So I don't know where that leaves me. I guess I'll just kind of see where I am in about 2 years' time. A lot can change, so I'm not trying to make any rash decisions, but if I needed to be close to family, I would need to buy, and I wanted to buy a place close to family, it would be in Southeast London. But here's the thing with family and life, it changes, people move around and move on, and you need to make decisions, especially big financial decisions, based on your own circumstances and not, you know, what your family and friends are doing. Because, you know, what's to say they don't up sticks and move, and then you're left there like, well, hey, I just bought a house here to be close to you guys. So for me, mobility is key in that. So if I don't buy close to them, I will always have some way of getting to them. That's why, like, buying a car was so important to me, but also not getting in debt buying a car. So there is that. Career update. That's a good question, actually. I would say career-wise, I don't know if, when you're self-employed, can you say that you have a career, or can you say that you have a business? I would say marketing would still be my career path, but I would say that I'm pursuing it more as a business rather than as a career or a job, you know. Yes, practically it is a job because I work for somebody else as a contractor. Well, I work for myself because I'm self-employed, but my client is my employer. That made no sense. I would say where I'm at with marketing, just in general, as a career, as a business, whatever, is I feel like I'm trying to put the things that I've learnt in my career into my business. And you guys know that I've been working quite a bit on my website, and if you haven't checked that out, you should. www.sws-blog.com. So I've been taking what I've learned in my marketing career and applying that to my own endeavours, so my personal brand, which I would say is my business, kind of. And then I'm also just trying to, like, not necessarily specialize, but I think contracting is kind of showing me the types of marketing roles that I enjoy more. And I would absolutely say content and marketing communications is where my strong point is, because I love writing and I love creating content, or helping to create content, working with designers and, you know, technical people to put processes in place to effectively communicate with your audience or your customers. So yeah, I'd say I'm trying to find my niche, but, you know, not trying to, like, I guess, what's the word, pigeonhole myself. Like, I don't want to just be a digital marketeer or an events marketeer or a social media marketeer or an email marketeer. Like, I want to be marketing communications, whatever the channel, you know what I mean? So that's the career update. Obviously, the major update is I'm self-employed and I'm doing what I've always done, but as my own limited company. So I'm really enjoying that, and I would definitely say that I cannot see a future where I am not working in marketing as a self-employed contractor. So that is the real update, is the permanent employment life is no longer for me. I will be contracting for the foreseeable future because it's just a better way of working. Like, I've met so many new and interesting people in the company that I've worked in now, and, you know, if I do this for years, who knows, like, the types of people that I can meet. I've learned so many different things about different types of marketing and different types of businesses. So I would just say that I'm growing as a marketer, and I'm growing as a working professional, and my network is growing as well. So I would say that this is it for me, really. This is it. So next question is, will I be doing Vlogmas? Well, not in the traditional sense, so you won't be getting one video a day from me, because Lord knows where will I find the time. But what I will be doing is vlogging during Christmas, so there will be less sit down videos and more vlogs. In fact, it's probably going to be all vlogs from now up until New Year's, because I've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, and I kind of want to share some of those experiences with you. And Christmas is generally quite a fun time for me and family, so it would be nice to bring you guys along for that. So I will be doing Christmas vlogs. If you can call that Vlogmas, then yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Next question is, what made you want to become a blogger? So I wouldn't really class myself as a blogger, because I'm more a vlogger, if you could say that. While I do have a blog on my website, which again you should check out, shameless plug again, I'd say that most of my content is here on YouTube. So what made me want to do that? To be honest, as I always say, my siblings really inspired me, or they were the ones that kind of alerted me to the fact that this is a thing that people can do, talking to a camera and you know, connecting with people all around the world, and let's just keep it real, make money from it. So it was my brother, my brother kind of, you know, drew my attention to the financial side of things, and that you can earn an income from it. And my sister kind of drew me to just the enjoyment of it all. I think we are all a family of creatives. Oh, here she is. Hello. So she kind of alerted me to the fun side of it, and how you can just, like, you know, talk to people from all around the world, and just bond on things that you all love and are passionate about. So that's what kind of made me get into it. And then, but also, you know, I was a viewer on YouTube for many years, and I kind of wanted to see, I enjoyed what I saw, makeup, you know, I learned how to do my makeup from watching YouTube videos, I'll be honest. But what I wanted to see was videos where, you know, young women would talk about, you know, the other side of life. So not just hair and fashion and beauty, but like finance and books and careers, and, you know, just getting your life together, basically, because I needed help. At the time, I just kind of felt a bit lost. So that's pretty much where I started. That's my sister down there. So you're going to hear the doorbell go in a second. And here I am, 4 years later, and doing it and loving it. Yeah, so that's why I became a vlogger. Do I love it? Would I do it for free? Absolutely, 100% yes. I was doing it for free for a good year before I actually started to make any money that was notable from it. So yeah, something I came across very randomly, but not very randomly, because apparently all of my siblings have been doing it. Do I have any advice for bloggers and entrepreneurs? I would say it's an industry that's always changing. So blogging, vlogging, you know, social media as a whole is always changing. So being in the know and also just like trying to stay informed is important. But to a certain extent, I think you can. There is such thing as too much information, and I think in a very social world, you can kind of get caught up. So I think it's important to drown out the noise, is what I call, and you know, be very clear about why you're doing it and what your goal is, your ultimate goal, and what you want to get out of what you're doing. But yeah, try and stay informed, because it's a very fast changing industry. That's what I'd say for bloggers or vloggers or people who want to be influencers. I'd say being very clear about who you are and what you represent will sort of save you from, you know, the dangers of comparison and you know, just being pit against other people. If you're very unique and you have a niche, or you have something that you talk about that is unique to you, then I don't think you can ever run into problems of, oh well, so and so does it better than me, or I don't have X many subscribers because blah 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 blah. I think it's important to want to grow, but at your own pace, I think, and within the context of what you do. So that's important. For entrepreneurs, and it's funny, I don't really see myself as an entrepreneur, so I can't really comment on that. But the definition of entrepreneur is risk taker, and I think people who step into business on their own are risk takers. And I think if you are not a risk taker, then you probably have no place even considering being an entrepreneur, because every step of the way you're making decisions, you are putting yourself on the line financially, emotionally, socially a lot of the time, because it can be quite lonely. Being an entrepreneur, you are alone with your thoughts and in your way of life quite a bit, because not many other people are doing what you're doing. So yeah, you have to be a bit of a risk taker, a bit of a lone wolf, somebody who's willing to kind of go against the pack a little bit. So that's that. Where do I get my fashion inspiration from? All over the place. I would say my style is quite classic, but I do like to keep up with trends. So I follow a lot of accounts on Instagram that I love. I'd say like my number one inspiration in terms of fashion, mixing fashion and high-end stuff, is this account called Up Close and Stylish on Instagram. It's just this lady who, like, you know, she has a lot of high-end designer or luxury accessories and shoes, but she teams them with stuff like from Zara and H&M, and yeah, just her whole aesthetic is really cool. And she never shows her face, so you don't know who she is, what she looks like, what she does, you know, what her life is like. It's just about the clothes, and I really respect that. So yeah, follow her on Instagram. She's got like 2 million followers, so no, it's no small account. And then otherwise, I just wear what I like, basically, what I like the look of. What else? Well, Vlogmas, I've answered that. How do I still save while enjoying luxury goods? I have a one-in, one-out policy. I don't think I will ever have 2 designer handbags in at one time, in the same way that I can't see myself ever having 2 pairs of designer boots in at one time, or, you know, 2 pairs of designer sunnies in at one time. So it's one in, one out. If I'm not using something, I sell it and I get something else to replace it, basically. And I buy a lot of dupes to see whether or not I would actually like an item, because it's a lot of money to spend without knowing whether or not you get any use from it. So, for example, I've always wanted a Chanel classic flap, but I've always bought dupes just to kind of see whether it's something I would incorporate into my everyday wardrobe. So I bought a dupe with the gold hardware, one with the silver hardware, to see which one fits my style better. And at the moment, I will say it's definitely going to be silver hardware in the caviar leather. So I try stuff out, and one in, one out, basically. And I also think that you shouldn't be spending loads of money on like top end, high end products or luxury items. For me, I wouldn't until I have something that's appreciating in value. So until I acquire a property or something that appreciates in value. By the way, Chanel handbags do appreciate in value, but that's not my excuse. If you don't own something that appreciates in value yet, then wait before you make like loads of like designer handbag or shoe purchases. That's just my rule. So yeah. Would I ever start an online book club? Potentially, yeah. I've thought about it, and I joined my first book club this year with work, and I've really enjoyed it. I don't know how an online book club would work, and also I don't really know where I would find the time. But it is something that I like the sound of. What I'd love to do is watch some episodes of Oprah's Book of the Month Club, and just kind of see how she did it, because, you know, I just feel like a lot of people who have been on that have gained mass exposure. So for me, it would be like pointless to do if the book that I'm talking about, people didn't really enjoy it, or people didn't then sort of go out and get it and it didn't change their life. So yeah, I would love to do it, to see how she did it, and also just kind of figure out how I will find the time to do it. How is dating in your 30s compared to dating in your 20s? What a question. Well, to be fair, in my 20s, I only dated in the first couple of years, and then I got into a relationship, and now here I am in my 30s trying to figure that out. So I'd say it's not that dating has changed. I think the world has changed, and therefore dating has changed. But how I do it, I think, will always be the same. Yes, there are so many ways to like meet people now, and it's just easier to come across people who are looking to date, especially with like the rise of technology and dating apps and online dating sites. But how I date will not really change. I think for me, it's like I would only really ever date one person at a time, because I'm a perfectionist, and therefore if I feel like my attention is in too many places, I don't like it. I just like one thing to focus on, and I want to do that well. And if I realise that I'm focusing on the wrong thing, then I will switch it up, basically. So my dating style is very much meet people out and about, or through introductions or whatever, and date that person. If I enjoy them, then I keep dating them, and if I don't, then I stop. And if I meet someone new, great. Dating in my 30s, funny enough, there's less pressure. I feel like I pressured myself a lot more in my 20s to like feel like, oh my god, I've got to find the one, or my husband, this has to be long term. Whereas dating in my 30s, I actually don't really give a damn, to be honest. Like, I just want to meet people who are fun to hang around, and who have the same mindset as me, and who I enjoy their company. So there's no pressure, which I like. I'm enjoying about dating in my 30s. So that's it for makeup. This is my hair. How many more questions have we got? How am I coping? You know what? I feel like I'm in a good place. I went to therapy, and I took my mental health into my own hands, and I'd say I'm in a good space. I'm happy with where my work life is. My dating life is what it is, but I'm happy within myself, and my relationship with myself is growing, and it's in a positive space. I have my health. I've got good friends and family around me, so I'm coping just fine. I would say I'm more than coping. I'd say I am flourishing. That's a nice word. Do I live in Kent or London now? I live in London now. Goals for 2019. It says 2029, but I think you mean 2019 because even I can't think that far ahead. Goals for 2019: travel more, save more, and just do crazy shit, basically. Okay, so quick outfit of the day before I put my lipstick on. I've got this V-neck jumper from H&M gilet, ASOS belt, jeans are Zara, boots are Stuart Wiseman. I'm going to wear my everyday bag, Mulberry. And the fragrance of today is a Mancera Rose Vanille, which is like my all-time top pick. It very much closely rivals my Jo Malone English Pear and Freesia, but it's a lot sweeter and I like it. So I'll have linked all of this stuff in the description box below, but here it is. And for my lips, just my usual combo, which has been of late: MAC Chestnut Lip Liner. And as you can see, I love it because it's like down to a stump. So I just go, I don't do all over the lip because particularly my top lip is quite dark, so I don't need it up there. It's just the outline, because my lips don't really have a defined outer edge. It's all just kind of fluid. So I do that on the outline, and then it's MAC, it's Velvet Teddy or Honey Love, either will do, but this is the only one I've got left. And I'll do more on the top lip with this because it's darker up there. And then I'll just kind of blend it in with my finger a bit. And sometimes, if I'm feeling fancy, I will also add a bit of Tom Ford Douglas over the top, just for moisture and a bit of shine. Okay, and that is it, I think. Let's pack this away. I'm actually getting ready for church tonight, so you guys will be seeing this on the same day that it goes up. I was going to upload a vlog with this as well, but I think the video might be a little bit too long, so I'll either split it in 2 parts, or you'll see the vlog like maybe on Wednesday. It will all be clear, but this is my Sunday video. Let's do a quick spritz of this. Always remember it's a twist cap. And I'm here with Leonie. I don't know if she wants to come on camera, but she's coming. Of course she is.
Real quick.
There she is. You can go around the front if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's all I was going to do.
No, right, okay. We are heading out. And I don't know, we might grab a meal after.
Oh, might we?
We might.
Oh, we might.
I didn't get my cheat meal yesterday, so yeah.
Oh, you didn't have a burger?
No.
Oh, wow.
I had to go, Mummy cook some pig ears. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video, which will be a Christmassy style vlog. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you want to know more about how I'm saving, how I'm investing for the future when it comes to property, comes to my credit score, it comes to bank accounts, and comes to stocks and shares, pensions. I've recorded a podcast episode, so I started a podcast called the Grown Folks Podcast earlier this year. There's an episode that I've linked in the description box below that will talk you all through how I'm investing for the future and how you can consider similar things for yourself. Also, I've also linked an ebook that I wrote, which is called Everything Looks Better in Black. So it's a personal style and personal finance ebook talking all about my 10 secrets to being financially free, but also owning a timeless and non-trend driven wardrobe. So check that out. It's available for purchase, description box below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.